So let's see, this is my table I am having. Okay, I am having this table. Done. Where if when I run this select star from dest, I'll get the results. So I want to pass the ID. So what I will do, declare at the rate of ID as integer, right? Where sorry, I'll set a set value, set at the rate of ID equal to sum 2, and here I'll give at the rate of ID. Okay, when I execute this, I'll get the values for 2, and if I give a value for 3, then I'll get the whatever the value is having the I got here, right? So this is the way I got. Can I pass the same way as a table name also? So this is one scenario, leave it. I'll just comment it this one. So since today we are going to see the dynamic, right? So we'll see what is that. Okay, we are done. I am able to pass that. That is above scenario. Now what I'll do, I'll just declare. So this is my scenario. I'll just write select star from dest, done. So when I execute this, I'll get the data. Now my scenario is that I want to change the name of this destination table again and again. So instead of dst, I want dest name. Okay, I want the dest name. Then I'll get the data for dest name like this. I want to change the name dynamically. Can we do this way? Select at the rate of ID integer. Sorry, I'll do set declare at the rate of table name t name. Okay, as varchar of 100. Done. What I will do, set at the rate of table name equal to whatever name I want, dest. Okay. So here instead of that, can I give this way? Can anyone say whether it is going to work or not? If I execute this, is it going to work or not? Hello? So who is going to, who are the people who are going to say that it is going to work, and who are not, who says that it's not going to work? Who is this? Hello? Monica? Yeah. Why it will not work? Because it worked here, right? Above 1. Huh? Yeah. Okay, no problem. Yeah, lead. Because what it does dynamical manually, when you try to execute this, if I execute this, it will not work. Declare the table variable t name. So normally the t name is a variable, right? You can't use that variable in the from class. But actually dynamically what you are passing here you need to pass the name. That's why instead of that you passed here value. Here it is working, right? Select star from destination where ID equal to at the rate of ID. But here it is not working. Why? Because whenever you write some queries, what TSQL is going to do is that it is going to compile the query and check whether that query is there in the correct syntax or not. So this is a not correct syntax, but I want the name should be changed here. Whatever the name I give here for the table name, I should get the data for that particular table. That's what I need, but I can't do it here now, because in the from class I can't use a table name. I can't use a variable name in the from class. If I want to use a variable name, I should create the variable name as variable type as table. That's the thing I need to create, but there is no. But I don't want to do that. I just want to pass the value here. So for that purpose, what I will do, along with that, I will declare one more parameter called query. Declare at the rate of query. Okay, and see here, and it is a varchar type, varchar of 1000. I will do here one thing, set at the rate of query equal to, see here, I am building a dynamic query from class, plus I am adding this t name as a variable. Now see, I will just print at the rate of query. Now what happens? Automatically whatever the table name I give that variable, that table name is added to the select star from, right, and that one is stored under the query name. See now, select star from destination. See, if I give the table as something destination underscore name, I will get the destination name. So I have given wrong name. So if I give name, I will get the name. Okay, this is the thing I got it here. So what happened? The query is building during the runtime. Now if I want to execute this, whatever the value I got in the query, if I want to execute that, so what I am going to do, after print, I will just write in a two statements. I will write it as select. Okay, select at the rate of query. I'll if select or print both are same, right? When I do select at the rate of query, I'll get the query here. See, name. Now if I want to execute the whatever the value I got in the query, if I want to execute it, then I'll use execute or exec. I'll just write at the rate of query. That's it. Whatever the value I got here, that one will be executed now when I use a execute query. See, whatever the select star from this destination name is there, right? I'll just copy this. We'll test it once. That's it. When I execute this, I'll get some data here. See, I got some data with this, right? I'm just deleting that one. So we will get the same data now. See, yeah. See. So what's happening? This query is so when this is a scenario when you have this type of structures, the SQL server is not going to bother about this. Whatever the thing you got in the select star from in the bracket, it will not at all compile that one. So because of the compilation, so there is no compilation is done. Since there is no compilation, it will not show any error. Now if I give instead of destination, if I give name, then if I give the destination instead of the destination name, automatically I will get the data for destination. See, DEST. I got the query and I got the results for that. So here building the query dynamically, this is nothing but the execute. So building the query dynamically means you are building certain query dynamically. See, I got the values, right? Select star from. Now I'll add one more column which will have the column names also at the rate of column. Call name, CN means column names, it is a varchar. Okay, in select star from destination, I got ID and name, right? I just want the name. So what I will do, set at the rate of column name equal to, I will just give name. And here what I will do in the select star from, because in the select star, right, I will keep plus. So this is a way to concatenate string. You can concatenate the string in the plus symbols. Here I will give at the rate of CName. See now, when I execute this query, I will get only name. See here now. See, name. Select name from destination, like this. This queries you are building during the runtime. So you can't see this. I can't say what is a C column names and table name. These values you are going to get during the runtime. So whatever the values you got in this one, CN and the T name table, that values will be populated to make a query, right? So the process of doing this method is nothing but the dynamic query. So here the query, what happens? It is going to execute dynamically. So this is a scenario. So everyone is clear with this dynamic queries? The queries which you are going to make dynamically means, always remember, dynamically means it is going to change during the runtime. Okay. So that method we will call it as dynamically. Whenever the query changes during the runtime, then with that method we call it as dynamic. So you can say simple that dynamic query is nothing but the queries where we are going to build the queries or run the where we are going to build the queries during the runtime and execute them. That queries is called the dynamic queries. And disadvantage between the dynamic queries and normal query is that in the normal query, see, I'll just give name, I'll just give name. When I execute this now, what happens? See, I got the result select name from destination. The first query select query is executed. But when it comes to execute query, then it is showing me an error. See, invalid column name. It means that the system is going to compile this query during the runtime, not now. If I write one simple select name from, I just write a name from DST, and when I execute this now, what happens? It will execute. If I something write name, I will write two things. I will write just print ABC, or I will write select ABC. Okay. So, what I will just execute this both the columns. Okay. See, none of the record came, even the select, it didn't show select, it even didn't get this one, but whereas above one, the select statement you got it, right? You got the select statement, but you didn't get the execute query. See, when I go to the results, you got this one select query statement, whatever the value is in the query, it is selected, right? But whereas execute query, it failed, means it will compile, and during the execution it will check the syntax. But here see, I got both the values, but I should get either select ABC, right? I should get the ABC value, but are not getting, because before execution the system is going to compile these records, and after that if the syntaxes and if the column names are there, then it is going to execute. But here when compiling this both the records, the second query is, when compiling the both the query, the second query is error. So, because of that the system is unable to do that. Okay. So, because of that the system says, okay, this is error, so it will not start execution. That is the disadvantage with the dynamic and normal query. So, in the dynamic query, so the compilation, the query which you had built, it will not compile this query at all. It select column name from table name, right? Column name is NAM, if table name is DEST, it will not compile this one now. It will compile, just it will not compile, it will just execute the record. At that time if it found that error, then it will print. But whereas normal query, it will compile first everything and then it will do that. Did you get my point, everyone? Hello? So, what is the dynamic query, Likita? Hello? Hello Likita, can you hear me? Hello? Hello Likita.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. So, Shilpa, did you get that?
Sir.
Okay. So, this is a dynamic query. In the same way, we had built in SSIS also, you can do the dynamic query, right, to the variables. Okay. This is a way how you are going to build the dynamic queries normally. Even you build the non-dynamic queries, like you had many things that you are going to do. And one other thing is that you need to remember, whenever you do the dynamic query, even though you write any error in this query, so instead of this all, I will just use select NAME. It will not compile this now. It will just execute the query. During the execution, it find an error, then it will deploy. That's it. But whereas a normal query, it will compile and then it execute. Okay. Dynamic query means the query which you are dynamically building, that one will not be compiled. It will compile other stuff. See, if I give like one query, that is wrong, right? It will compile this. It will compile the syntaxes. It will not compile the query. It will not compile this query. Okay. Yeah. Who is this?
Hello.
Yeah.
Monica, actually there's a problem with my net, so I'm trying to log in whenever it gets disconnected. So did I miss anything?
So, are you able to get this then? Did you hear this?
Yeah, I'm listening to the dynamic query. You said there's something important you have to know.
Okay. Important means nothing. Dynamic query, see here. When I execute this, the name column is not there in the table, right? It will show an error, the invalid column name. Okay, means it will compile this syntaxes, but it will not compile this query which you had given in the comments. Okay, let's say I have given the table name DEST and I will give the name as NAME, and I have given here destination DEST1. Even though the destination table is not there, then it should show an error, right? See, it should invalid object name destination, means actually it should say at the execution of the query at the beginning of that only it should say this the table is not there, but it will not say, because it will be compiled, it will be this query, whatever the query you are building dynamically, it will not compile it now, it will not at all compile, just it will execute when you give this one, that's it. So it is a single line, so it's okay, but if you have like thousands of lines of code, if you have made some mistakes in the query, it will not at all say that one. Okay, that is a disadvantage, that is a few disadvantages with the dynamic queries. And one more thing is that basically what happens in the SQL server, when you execute the query, what its system is going to do, it is going to, suppose if you are executing some group of queries, what it is going to do, it is going to take all the queries and it is going to prepare a query plan, how to execute the query normally. But when you add the dynamic plan, then it will not do that way. See, now I got this one, right? If I do any execution query plan for this, see, even though I don't have any name, not this one, see, it is not at all doing execution plan for this select star from table name. But if I write this select star from, what is the table name, some DEST, if I do this way, what happens? Because that table has a execution plan, it will show me that, see, it will show me the table name here and everything, but when I do this, it will not at all show me the execution query plan for that. See, it is showing one by one variable, see, assigning the variable, you are assigning the value, select name, assign 0, and you are doing one more assignment, done, and next you are doing select without query, see here, select without query. Okay, and here see execute query, means there is no query, but you are writing some select statement, that's the thing. So it will not compile that query, this query, it will not prepare execution plan. So in that case it again takes more time. So better avoid to use the dynamic queries until and unless it is necessary. Okay, if it is not necessary, then don't you, if it is necessary, you can't do anyway. See, if I want to pass this table name, I had no other option just to use a dynamic query. So in this scenario you can use, because you don't have any option. Okay, so that's it with the dynamic queries.